Always, I'm looking at two cameras. Hi everyone. Just that show, we can look pretty. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. Hello, welcome to SeunBDsCorner. Right now, thousands of African professionals are searching on AI and on different search engine as well on what to actually do. I'm trying to read the message as well on things around how to pivot. How to pivot their career, how to go from what they're doing currently into tech. Some people are doing. I was just watching a video now, and that's why I'm a minute late. Also on how to survive in this economy. Prices of oil has gone up. Like, I know how much I bought for. I bought for 1,000 on Monday, and now it's like over 1,002. People are looking for adults on how to actually survive in the economy that we are. The people are now considering highly jackbarring the injustice, Iran, and all of that, right? Why that's not what we're here for. People are also researching. A lot of people are researching on how to handle a toxic boss. That's a toxic boss. That's not why we're here. But I was having a conversation with a new mentee, like a client, let's say, so to say, and she was talking about, what was she talking about? She was going on about, where she was working is so toxic. That's why she resigned, and she actually preferred a remote work because that was toxic. I laughed and I said, look, let me tell you something, right? There is nowhere that is not toxic. That's the honest truth. There is nowhere. Look, the reason why you don't feel the toxification, if there's a word like that, is because you are not at that level where you are feeling it. There is either a boss that is absorbing all of that toxicity. I can't pronounce it, but I really know what I mean. So that is why you don't even know it exists. So there's a boss that's actually absorbing it, so you're not able to feel it. Toxic boss, toxic work environment, it is everywhere, it exists. Now, the amount of time that you would feel it is what differs. People are doing that search and all of that. Now, look, right, welcome to SeunBDsCorner. Hi, my name is SeunBD, and here tonight at 9:45, we are hanging out to conclude our topic around Joseph. We've been talking about Joseph January and February, and Joseph's value in the workplace. If you know me, you know me and my alarms. The alarm just went off, so sorry about that. So we're concluding on the Joseph story, especially for Q1. End of March, we'll make it the first Q1 of 2024. So how are you doing work-wise? How are you doing career-wise? How are you doing business-wise as well? A lot of people have different feelings around that. How they're wrapping up, how they started the year, how are your goals? Have you been hitting your goals? What we're going to do today is we're going to be concluding and wrapping up on Joseph, because here's the truth, right? Joseph didn't have AI. Joseph didn't even have a phone. Joseph did not have anyone to check, to look for him, or to get help from. Yet somehow, some way, with good attitude, with good mindset, with a forgiving spirit, it was able to scale through every single level of his trials, every single level of toxic. He had toxic brothers. He had a toxic boss, Potiphar's wife. He was even in people that don't remember the goodness or the favor you've done for them, and they're not toxic. They're toxic, right? He was even in prison with toxic people, because all of the guys that he helped and he gave insight to their dreams, what happened? They forgot about them. They forgot about him when they left prison. Not so exactly. It was even in jail. He was thrown into jail with toxic people. And then guess what happened again? When he came out, he still had to meet with his toxic brothers who were now looking for food and could not even recognize him. The audacity. Right? So how was Joseph able to scale through each and every one of that, still was able to forgive his brothers, do things that would change the whole story of the Israelites as well, because clearly he went ahead of them. That is what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be concluding on today. If you're ever tired of pushing for the getting nowhere at work, just give me the next 10 minutes and we would use that to wrap up, and I'll be able to just give you some pointers. I'm not the best, I'm not an expert at this. I have my own phase of life, I have my own challenges as well. But guess what? With almost 25 years of corporate environment, working right before uni and working. Yes, 25 years. You're wondering how old are you? Yes, I'm 24. I don't know. Figure it out, right? So with all of that, I am sure that from what we'll be talking about in the next 10 minutes, there should be one or two things that you'll be able to pick up. They definitely should be able to pick up, be able to relate to it, and use it as a yardstick. Sorry if I keep looking down. I'm just trying to look at my notes to make sure that I'm not missing out on any point. What are we doing today? Now, we're not going to talk too much about Joseph's prison season. What we're going to do is, when Joseph was in prison, he didn't sulk. When he was even in being sold, yes, he would have been crying, he would have been bitter at the time he was being arrayed for a slave master to buy him. But guess what? When he was in prison, he was not sulking. Even when he was in Potiphar's house, because if he was sulking and angry and moody and living in bitterness, it would have you ever seen a bitter person? Have you? A bitter person, no matter how happy they are, you can tell it's not genuine deep happiness. You can still tell that they have a little bit of bitterness somewhere, like something is not right. Is this fake? Is this real? And some people are just very good at pretending, right? But Some people are also just not genuinely happy. You can tell. There's no way if Joseph was in Potiphar's house and he was angry, he was sad, it was there's people that you see just one life condition, their whole countenance is down. There's no way if Joseph's countenance was down, Potiphar would have put him in his house. I remember there was a session that was one of the previous episodes where I was talking about to say it's just like imagine the Dangote, right? Let's imagine Dangote for a minute, or any other rich person, just a regular person on the road. So the kind of houses they live in, their cooks, their health and support staff, they all have different levels. Some people don't pass the kitchen. Some people don't pass the first floor. Some people don't even go to the second floor. Now, for Joseph to have access to Potiphar's room, where his wife would have had the chance to remove a coat from him, that means that Joseph did not have a bitter countenance. Joseph did not have a, oh, my brothers, oh, I catch them. And then he was still is handsome. Because I was like, for Potiphar's wife to look at him and just be like, I'm gonna get me some of that, right? Not saying that that was good. But for Potiphar's wife to have been able to do that, it means that he was still working out, he was still looking fresh. It was just like, this is what we've got to do. He kind of understood his assignment. He understood that maybe this is how I'm supposed to get for that dream that I have to actually manifest. He wasn't walking around with a mopey face. He wasn't walking around with, oh my God, oh my brother sold me, I'm in a strange land. When I catch them, it wasn't like when I catch them, I'll show them. It wasn't. It just kind of got on with life, which is one of the values that I have. Let's just get on. Like, is this where we are? Let's move. Because once you understand that God is your source, whether at work or at business or at whatever you do, whenever you even face disappointment, you almost understand that, God, what did I miss here? You're going back to God. You're not taking it personal. Do you understand? You're not like, oh my God, that person hurts me. You're just like, okay, maybe I didn't apply wisdom. Maybe I wasn't smart enough. Oh Lord, what did I miss there? Have mercy on me. Redirect me. And you kind of pray forward, right? That was kind of what Joseph was doing, because otherwise it wouldn't have been hot looking for Potiphar's wife to have wanted to carry her agenda with him. So whatever it is that you're going at work, whether you've been denied a promotion, like I said, I'm going through my own season right now, so maybe I'm not the best person to talking about this, but I actually might be the best person to talk about this, because even the Bible says that we go through a number of things, we go through some trials in life, so that when we're out of it, we can share our story with other people. So again, I'm one of those that don't assume that, oh my God, I'm dying. Like, I just feel like, okay, this is another story again we're going to talk about. And I'm so grateful for God. I was not born like this. My mother's life and working closely with God taught me. You have to almost understand that your spirituality does not stop at church. Your spirituality does not stop at home. Your spirituality does not stop at meditation time. Your spirituality does not stop at when you are fasting. It is a daily life battle. Now, are you prepared? And do you understand that that is something that you would face at work, at business, and in relationship? How we continue to talk about Joseph. Joseph brought a solution. Right, remember when he was in prison, he brought solution. Even when he was brought to the front of Potiphar, he brought solution. Even when his brothers were looking for food, he brought solution on how he was going to see his father. Did he not? Think about it for a minute. I don't know. I know sometimes we read Bible and we don't like take a step back to think, oh, what exactly is going on here? What exactly is this? You were just reading it, and some of us like to read Psalm. Everybody should just die. My enemy is fire. But when it's time to actually read the ones where you can take a step back and be like, if I was in that scenario, what would I have done? Now, Joseph brought solution, not just a skill. When Potiphar called him, he didn't just interpret the dream. He went on a long plan. He designed a plan, a survival plan that worked. He came as a solution person. Are you a solution provider at your work? Or do you just say, oh, they don't give me. If they don't ask me to do it, I'm just going to do the little that I can. Do you actually understand your assignments? Do you? Or you're just, I beg, let me just keep it moving. The other thing that we also talked about as well is Joseph used the technology in his days. I hope you know. So the storage of food, the storage of let's keep it, let's reserve. You do understand that sometimes in life you may not be given all the resources. So you can't say, oh, because, oh, there is no technology. Or Joseph was like, oh, there is no podcast tool. Some of us are so spoiled that we're always looking for tools. Some of us are so spoiled that we almost think that if there is no resources, that is the reason of our inefficiency. It's actually not. Have you taken time out to pray about that project? We don't pray about project, but we are sure likely going to pray about a visa or a sponsorship or a school application. But we don't pray about projects. We don't pray about our work. We don't pray for our bosses. We don't pray for, I'm about to open my laptop. Or, Lord, as I'm about to go into this meeting. Lord, as I'm about to do this. Lord, as I'm about to do that. You just go in. Bam. You leave it as, oh, work is work, church is church, and I hope you can all hear me. I pray to God you can hear me, but anyway, I hope he's there, so she has not to be she can hear me. So I take it as I'm loud and clear, right? We don't pray about the project, don't pray about the people that we're working with. And when we even get the results, we are there popping our shoulder, drinking ice cream, giving ourselves a treat because we've had a very, oh my God, we've not even gone back to our place of altar. Do you actually have an altar for work? If you don't know what an altar is right now and you're a Christian, I have many questions for you. You should have an altar for work. Are you praying about work? Are you in Thanksgiving? Do you appreciate God? When you get bonus, do you just spend it, just go and buy the latest wig? Or do you actually pay a certain amount, whether as tithing or as giving back to a project that your church is going through, or as doing something? Like I said, my alarms. So what exactly are you actually doing as well? When those time come where you are getting appraised, where you are being clapped for, how do you take your clapping? Do you take it to yourself and say, oh, it's all me, it's all me? Or you don't say, it's not me, oh, it's God, though anybody can do it? Or are you so ashamed that you can't even talk about God, or can't even give glory to God on what you did because you doctored the work, you've doctored invoices, you copied someone else's idea, it's not even your real idea, you overheard it in the conversation, or you're not even giving credit, you're not even the real owner of the idea, you're not even giving credit to other people. That's not very Christian. All right, like I said, it wasn't a straight line. It took years for Joseph. Like, he didn't wake up. You know, the story looks like everything happened in 2 or 3 chapters, so you can look like, oh, it happened very quickly. It didn't. It took years. He was in prison for a long time. It was in Potiphar's house for a long time as well. He definitely did not enter and was thrown into, like, if like someone like me now, I get nannies. It takes a bit of some days, sometimes some months before I can open up to my nannies. So I can understand that it wasn't immediately. It even takes a while. My husband's chauffeur, his driver. It's been with him, his official driver. It's been for over 4 years, right? And I can remember that the first year was not, the way we speak to him now, the way we relate to him in this first year was not immediate, because what you're also trying to do is you're also trying to assess the person. Are they committed? Are they real? Are they, like, because Nigeria is crazy, right? I live in Nigeria, so when it comes to artisans and support worker, it can be crazy. If you don't know, you don't know, and you can never know, you don't even relate. Nobody's treating anybody bad, but sometimes you just also have to create some boundaries and then almost like size up and check that person's whatever before you now know when to embrace them. And of course, now it's a regular conversation. Like, when he's talking to me about my car, I'm always confused. Like, I don't understand, whose car? My car be your car? Why you pointing and talking to me like that, right? But again, that's just because of how we have taken him. Joseph must have been able to rise up the rank, despite how he even got there, despite what he was going through, despite the fact that he was the baby of the house. Everyone looked up to him. His brothers sold him. He didn't wear it as a countenance. He didn't wear it like it wasn't mopping over it. And like I said, everywhere Joseph was working was a toxic place. I hope he was born in a toxic house, because I don't understand how your sister or your brother will tell you something and then the next thing they say, let's sell you. People are evil. The hearts of man, they don't get, right? What happened? And all of them began. Only one person, Benjamin, spoke. If Benjamin did not speak, I don't know what we'll be reading about Joseph right now. Don't you think? What would we be reading about Joseph, right? One person spoke, and that was the person that defended him. And then he got into Potiphar's house again, another toxic work environment. Potiphar's wife wanted to sleep with him and then lied on him. Then he got into prison, another toxic environment. What happened? Did he show anybody Pepe? Did he show anybody any Pro Max? Did he call, and when he even saw his brother, did he even say, hey, lock that door, go and bring me that new whip that we bought? You see all these people, whip them. I know them. They don't know me, but I know them. He didn't do that. What did he do? Instead, he cried and spoke in Hebrew and sent his servants away and all of that, and was still just like, my father alive. Can you do that? Yeah, I don't think I can, though. But with God, I can. That's just the truth. It's not easy. It's not an easy environment, or it's not an easy step to do. It is hard. You need God. You definitely need God. That is why I'm saying that you need to make sure that your work, your business, there is an altar. I'm not saying when you get to work be shouting NSSBPD up and down, or Triumph 30 or TCN and 6 a.m. whatever, and be a nuisance. Not that way. But even if it's on Sunday night, I have a tradition I've been doing for many years. Many years. You couldn't believe it. There's some days when I didn't fall, and there's some days every Sunday night, midnight, it's 1 hour simply praising. That's all I'm doing. Praising and committing the new week unto God. And I pray for every member of my family and all of that, right? You need to create what's your own type of altar going to be, because you just don't want life to throw you basketballs. If life is throwing you basketballs and you are basketballing and you're not holding on to your anchor, which is God, life is going to throw you basketballs a lot. And if you almost now don't understand it as, okay, God, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? What do I need to fix as well as my character? What do I need to get? How do I need to get better? And then you almost see that somehow, level upon level, things upon things, God will just keep opening your eyes to see many things, and things that are hidden would come out. As I wrap up today, and as we wrap up Joseph's story, I also just wanted to share some new highlights of the SeunBDsCorner.